Well, my name is Mrs. Sheela Mukherjee, and this is my story for the Colourful Heritage. I was very lucky because my father was one of the multimillionaire in India. His business was all over India and also connected with Australia and UK. In those days, you can understand that the standard was very, very British type of style in one way, and my mother was very conservative Hindu housewife. So I was brought up in between two cultures, you can say. One is very strict Bengali Brahmin family, another one, my dad was very British type of person. So definitely I started my education from a very early age, as usually it happens in India in those days, and then college, uni. So I did my double MA, economics and political science from Allahabad University. So economics was in 1961, and then political science in 1963. Both exams from the same uni, Allahabad University. And then I used to play basketball for the district, first of all for the school, and then college, and then district, and then state, and then I represented India as well. So my life was very different type. It was one way conservative, one way very Western, in between, but we learned all our culture from both sides actually. I was the middle daughter because we were four sisters and two brothers, and at that time my both brothers were in England as well, in Newcastle. They had their studies in education in England in those days, 50s, when the people used to come by ship, not by plane. From very childhood I wanted to come to Britain, and those days Britain was most popular country where everyone wanted to come. So my both brothers married English girl, and definitely those days was not so common of intermarriages. And so my father only promised me, you can go to UK, but before that you have to get married, as that's your wish of your mother. After my MA education, basketball was one of my main aim, to be the popular player or something, and I represented India also, not too far away, but we went to Sri Lanka at that time. And then I was lecturer for economics in my college called JT College in Allahabad for some time. Then I got married in 1966, and my both brothers were still in UK at that time, and my husband was doctor. He was very fresh medical doctor actually. So I thought that time now is the chance to come in in UK. So actually I manipulated my husband to come on, you're a doctor, you must do your MSCP from UK and we must go to England, and only that's the way I can come to England. And my aim was to go to London School of Economics because my MA was in economics. Well, my husband came first in January 1968, the late Dr. Pulak Kumar Mukherjee. So he came first. He came in Birmingham first, and I came a bit later because already, after marriage, definitely our first child was born there. He was only a few months old. And that's why I delayed to come over here. And I came and joined him in August 1968. So my son, first child, who was a few months old, and we celebrated his first birthday in UK. So I came as usual London. You arrived in London first, and from there we traveled to a place called Lichfield. That's in Midland, where he was the doctor. He was a psychiatrist, and he was a junior doctor. He was working as a junior doctor, and in those days NHS condition was very good. If you're married, you have a residential, the house, quarter, and we had it. I never had any trouble in my life, really, like local people. And Lichfield is not a big place actually, small place, and all whites. We were the first black doctor in the hospital. You know, those days in 60s or 50s, our black doctors very, very limited in number. Very limited, and because of shortage of doctors, there was a great demand for the doctors to come over here. When we moved in Stafford, I remember my son started nursery, and definitely one day, that was the first probably remark I heard, that when my son was running, his little son, the little boy running on the pavement, and I was behind him, and somebody said, "You're a blackie, you're black." And then I heard, what's this? That was the first black sound I heard, actually. In 74, he got the consultancy job. And he was the probably very rare when black consultant. So, and that was in Scotland. And first we came in Scotland, a place called Lesmahago. Lesmahago is where he got that consultant job, and we moved in Scotland. But before that, I must say that in 1973, my second son was born also, and that's why, you know, there was a lot of changes in our life, and he was the 1st of January, he was born in Birmingham, and my husband, in the meantime, he did his MSc Psych, MSc and other diplomas in psychiatry, etc. And in 1974, he got the consultancy job, and we moved in Scotland. Well, we were in Lesmahago, then definitely that was hospital accommodation. And then we moved to a place called Larkhall. He always liked to be near the hospital building, actually, not too far away to go. And he was consultant for Hartwood Hospital Shorts. That was huge, the largest hospital, psychiatric hospital at that time in Scotland. And also then Monkland General Hospital opened, and he was the first consultant, black consultant as a psychiatrist in Monkland. And in between, as usual, that my husband never allowed me to go and work, you know, for salary. He said, no, our Indian culture in those days was wife should be housewife, and husband, you know, who will earn the money, actually, bread earner as a husband. We always used to joke, no, that was not the reason, only because of my children. He said, that's the mother and child, you know, bond.